Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmoncal.
That's right. Back like I left something. Mr. Love, Light, and Balance himself. Cosmon, the hostess with the mostest. Holding that fire like a roach clip. Your naga, your nerve. Fresh off of that curved jelly. Jam and preserve. Hey, baby. This is gonna be a pretty interesting show. You dig what I'm talking about? I've, just been looking at things and perceiving how other people perceive it, and I've come to figure out that a lot of people, even though we've done a lot, it's a lot more that we can always do. And a lot of people still don't understand Oahspe or understand why we stand by it, or not even just stand by it, or why we stand by the creator. It's not the book. The book was just the introduction to let us know what we already knew, right? But with the deeper insights and how to prove those things objectively. Because I could tell you anything, and yeah, that sounds true. And that fire hot, y'all. That fire hot. You can believe me all you want to. It's not actual knowledge till you burn your hand. And that's what man has always done. You dig what I'm talking about? So we just gonna keep on building and bringing some of that light. I want to play something for y'all real quick. Shout out to the homeboy T Brew. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to the homeboy T Brew. You dig what I'm saying? He shot me a hot little track, man. You know what I mean? Something, I want to put out there. I told him I play it on the channel, man, and I just want to get some feedback. What y'all think about it? Honest feedback. We gonna go. If you like it, throw them fire emojis, them thumbs up. You dig what I'm talking about? Them muscles, throw them muscles. You dig what I'm talking about? Let me know how you feel it. Put it either pump it or dump it. We're gonna put it in the rotation. But this is Jehovih Chronicles number 231. Oahspe's view on the government. How do we look at, how do the faiths look at government? You dig what I'm talking about? Do we deal with it? How we look at it? What's going on with it? You dig what I'm saying? Do I sound a little louder? I sound better, y'all? Shout out to everybody in the house. Love, light, balance, man. All the praisers of the great spirit. You dig what I'm talking about, man? Listen, you guys are in a momentous point in history. It is a great time to truly be alive. Huh? You got to see all the darkness, all the bad. Huh? How glorious is it that you're living during the time of the switch, the change? Huh? We're going to be able to see that in our lifetimes. It's crazy. You dig what I'm talking about? Everything is changing. And if you're really watching, it's changing right in front of our face, man. You dig what I'm talking about? I want to share this. Tell me what y'all think about this brother. You dig what I'm talking about? It's one of the brothers. I believe he's from the the more Hebrew Israelite leaning, but you dig what I'm talking about? These all our folks. You dig what I'm talking about? This brother love the creator too. So anything that I can do, you know what I mean, lend the platform towards, or whatever, man, because it's not all about me all the time. It's about us. You dig what I'm talking about? And trust me, I ain't got no problem with riding none of y'all coattails to the top. You dig what I'm talking about? Though I ain't got no shame, my guy. Y'all go on up there. Hit the lottery, everything. Do it all. Yep, I'm gonna be your best friend. You ain't got no choice in the matter. You dig what I'm saying? But y'all tell me what y'all think about this T Brew. See No Evil from the album See No Evil. This is a song he got called Dreamers, right? Y'all can go on T Brew dash topic on hold on, I'll drop the thing in the chat just in case. Hold on one second. Y'all want to go check this out real quick. You know what I mean? But just showing some love. You dig what I'm saying? Just showing some love. Tell me what y'all think, man. Let's go, man. We're gonna jump right into it. This is Jehovah Chronicles number 231. Oahspe's view on the government, man. This the homeboy T Brew, man. Y'all give y'all feedback on. Yeah, that's the homeboy T Brew. That Dreamers. I thought it was pretty tight, man. You dig what I'm saying? Personally, you dig what I'm talking about. Production was right. You dig what I'm saying? Beat was dope. Concept. He was talking about something. You dig what I'm talking about? I throw that thumbs up for me. What y'all think though? You dig what I'm talking about? Cosmon put that in rotation. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, the beat tough. Yeah, the beat tough. You dig what I'm talking about? Beat tough, fire. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah. He was pretty dope. You dig what I'm talking about? My boy Judah Vaughn gonna have to bless me with something though. Judah Vaughn got to bless me with some of that. You know what I mean? Some of that. You dig what I'm saying? Some of that live. You dig what I'm talking about? That boy, the faith is Jimi Hendrix. You dig what I'm talking about? Dread say it's a go. My West Coast Connect say it's a go. You dig what I'm talking about? So there it is. You dig what I'm talking about? With that being said, let's get into this, right? We gonna set the mood in the scene. You dig what I'm talking about? Because we're gonna get into the governments of man, and then we're gonna see what Oahspe has to say about it, about the foundations of governments, how to prove if a government is good or evil. You dig what I'm talking about? Where do they come from? Where does the ideal come from? Right? Of course, in all spiritual senses, we're going to apply the as above, so below. Right? You can't give me nothing spiritual. It can't affect this physical. Right? So let's go get where the ideal of government comes from too. Right? But let's look at some of the outcomes of what are or what seems to be inevitable in the United States. This is what if the US economy crashes?
Millions of people getting ready to play a role in the economy, from the workers keeping the retail sector running to the stockbrokers handling huge amounts of money. Everyone plays their part. But today is no ordinary day, because today is the day the US economy begins to collapse, and it'll happen sooner than anyone knows. That's not to say an economic collapse happened out of nowhere. There are warning signs all around, and many economists have been trying to tell people for a long time. Inflation has likely been high for a long time, bordering on hyperinflation. When money has less value, the price of goods and services goes up too. And as salaries rarely rise with them, it becomes harder and harder to afford even basic goods. The economy might have been slowing down in growth as well, with many people on unemployment. The combination of these two factors leads to a condition called stagflation. This puts the government
Okay. All right. I see. I have my thing. Bronze, yo, good looking for calling me, man. I know when somebody calling me when I'm doing the live, that means my mic is off. Y'all good looking, man. Y'all know y'all bro be on one, man. I was going crazy hard right then. But I wanted y'all to notice about and take complete notice that the same thing that they're going to talk about right now, right, is the same thing that was going on 100 years ago exactly. Oahspe teaches us that time, while yet progressive, is cyclical, right? So the same things happen over and over again, right? So being with that said, let's look at objectively. Don't be just believing Cosmon because I'm saying something. We can objectively look at the same thing happened in 1920 is the same thing happened in 2020. Radical shift in presidency in 2024, in 1924, 23, 24. Same thing happened in 2024. Well, then, what happened in 1929, y'all? It's the last time the stock market crashed. If time is cyclical, what do we have to look for in 2029, 2030? An economic crash. Wasn't the Great Depression in the 1930s? Right? Well, if you had a disease out of nowhere in 1920 and the same thing happened out of nowhere in 2020, what you think gonna happen in 2029? Most likely the same thing that happened in 1929. Correct? Watch this. What if the United States market crashed? Watch this. Even they gonna bring it up. Watch.
In an unfortunate bind, as the methods needed to lower inflation might lead to higher unemployment. It's a bad state of affairs, but the dam is about to burst. The stock market is the method most people use to gauge the health of the economy. If it's doing well, people are likely to keep investing, but when there's a sudden lack of investor confidence in the market, it can go downhill in a hurry. And it doesn't take much. If a major player suddenly goes bankrupt or a bad economic or global news drops, people start selling their stocks. Tension over current political affairs, like the pending vote to raise the U.S. debt ceiling, only makes things worse. When some people start selling, others follow suit, and the snowball effect starts. Easy to get started, hard to stop. And that's where the panic starts. In a matter of hours, billions of dollars are lost in the U.S. economy. Major companies see their stock value drop precipitously, some losing much of their net worth. And let's not forget about the billionaires. Many of them, like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, have their net worth heavily tied up in stock holdings. That means they lose and gain billions of dollars while sleeping. And today, they might just see half their net worth disappear into thin air. It's a disaster for everyone from the billionaires to the small investors who see their retirement savings go up in smoke. Many companies see their entire net worth disappear, and by the close of the trading day, countless people are out of work and facing an uncertain future. But it's only going to get worse from here. Day 2. The U.S. government is in a panic. This is the worst day for stocks since 1929, even eclipsing the chaos caused by the Great Recession of 2008. They know something needs to be done, providing aid to keep the economic collapse from getting worse. That's what happened in both 2008 and 2020. After the stock market collapse in 2008, a costly bailout bill was proposed, giving many of the businesses who were about to fold an infusion of cash. And in 2020, as the stock market collapsed due to the coronavirus pandemic, the government provided both aid to businesses who were shut down and direct payments to Americans who were out of work. That should work again, assuming the Republicans and Democrats can work together. No big deal, right? Not this time. A hurried bailout bill designed to stop the stock market collapse is voted down by a narrow margin, with some on the far right not wanting to spend taxpayer dollars, and some on the far left wanting a more robust bill. The result is a further loss of confidence in the U.S. economy, complete with a stock market slide to match. It's starting to look much less like a recession and more like depression, and people around the world are paying attention. The stock market has lost more than 10% of its value in only 2 days, and everyone who relies on the U.S. government for money is starting to get worried. That includes Americans and those abroad. The U.S. government runs a deficit, a massive one, and many of those dollars are owed abroad. The U.S. national debt right now is a whopping $30 trillion, and as the U.S. economy continues its free fall, that'll have a global fallout. The U.S. dollar declines in value quickly, and many of the creditors are worried they'll never get their money back. So some might decide to call in their debts while they can, to which the U.S. might start by saying, "I'm good for it, man, I'll pay you next week." But it's not just the big economic players who feel the damage created by the collapse. As businesses shut down due to the stock crash and resulting bankruptcies, more people start to find themselves out of work. They worry where their next meal will be coming from, and what would happen if society breaks down as a whole. As night falls on the United States for the second time in the midst of a massive economic collapse, many people look at the news and say, "We better get out there tomorrow and pick up some supplies, just in case." And that might just make things worse. Day 3. The start of the trading day is 9:30 a.m. and most people heading to the stock market floor look like they're heading to an execution. No surprise, things look grim from the moment the trading starts, but elsewhere there's already chaos. Grocery stores around the country are seeing a surge in buyers, emptying shelves similar to the way they did in the early days of the pandemic. The sense of uncertainty has driven people to worry about shortages, and that means they're going to create those shortages themselves by stripping the shelves. Soon news footage starts coming out, and it's not good. Because when people are in a panic, they act out. The first footage shows 2 old women brawling over the...
And don't act like y'all didn't see this. Don't act like y'all didn't see this during Running Round. You dig what I'm talking about? This is exactly what we seen. Same thing we seen during many of the FEMA accidents and hurricanes, and you know what I mean? How they tried to paint the picture of the people in Louisiana as if they was looting their own stores when they were just trying to survive. Huh? We seen this though.
The last pack of eggs. Next, a video comes out of a man punching out a supermarket manager because she tells him they've run out of meat. Shots of people looting and running out without paying are common, and robberies in the parking lot start cropping up as well. By the time evening falls on the U.S., several major supermarkets and big box stores have been looted, which means they aren't going to be open tomorrow. But hey, at least they're not on Wall Street. The overall losses have fallen to around 20% of the overall stock market in only 3 days. The panic has grown to an apocalyptic level, and people are starting to ask, should the stock market open tomorrow? Historically, major events have led to temporary halts in trading. Assassinations of presidents, outbreaks of major wars, collapses of major businesses have led to shutdowns, and the 9/11 terror attacks led to a 6-day halt. Temporary halts prevented massive sell-offs during the coronavirus shutdown, but it couldn't stop the damage. Stock market halts can also be triggered at 3 thresholds: -7%, 13%, and 20%. And as the market crosses the 3rd threshold, powers that be say shut it down. So the stock market won't lose any more dollars tomorrow. But will that solve the problem? Day 4. People have started realizing this is bad, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. Much like the last morning's panicked grocery shopping, people are worried about another shortage today: money. Most people don't keep much cash on hand, instead keeping all their money in the banks and relying on credit cards to do much of their shopping. But the fear makes people seek out something a little more reliable, so they head to the bank and do some larger than usual withdrawals. And once again, they're far from the only ones. Footage comes out of lines snaking in and out of bank drive-thrus, clogging traffic. Many people are withdrawing their entire life savings, and banks are running out of cash on hand, forcing them to turn people
happened
away.
in
As it becomes
1929.
clear that
Pay
this panic
attention.
isn't abating, many banks start to put withdrawal limits to avoid having to close down and to make sure everyone maintains some access to their account.
For y'all that don't know, this is House Rule 192, right? They took America off the gold standard, right, and gave you a fiat bill, right, a legal tender, right? They tell you about 1933. They don't tell you about the 4 years preceding it, when the banks start calling in its loans in 1929. They're taking you off the gold standard.
It could be worse. During the Great Depression, many banks went under in
But think about it. If they're taking you out the gold standard, that means they already had something to put already ready to put you on, right? They already had the dollar bill ready, and then they readily traded in gold and they gave you money, paper bills for your gold, right? This is how they got all that stuff off the streets, right? They made it unlawful, illegal, right? To an extent. And well, at least to trade and barter with it. They gave the US dollar financial backing, right? And used it as currency instead of gold. So with that currency, right, or with the switch, they already had to have had something pre-planned. We now know that was the dollar, right? We know that is the official dollar, the fiat currency that we still using today, right? Legal tender. Do they already have, think about this, don't they already have something in the works, right? That if it was a crash in 2029, that would pick up after it? Anybody ever heard of cryptocurrency? Anybody ever heard of the blockchain? Y'all pay attention. Y'all pay attention. They already had the dollar ready to take the gold standard out. What they got to take out the dollar. Let that sink in a second.
entirely, and many people lost their life savings as a result. Since then, banks have been insured by the government to prevent that from happening again, as long as the US government is in semi-functioning order. And that's not something we should ever question, or is it?
Of course it was a precursor to war. Huh? That's why in 37, 38, we went into war. 39, 38, we went into war. War make money. We coming out of depression. We need to trump up something. Well, war makes money. The bank said, cool, we'll fund both of y'all. Do you know the Jewish banking oligarchy backed Hitler and built the kilns themselves? This is the tricky part. The OSS, which is the forerunner of the company we now know as FEMA, built the kilns for Hitler in Germany. Let that sink in. The banking oligarchies funded both sides of the war. They didn't care who won. Pay attention.
With the government failing to pass a relief bill, the president has been reduced to passing executive orders. He's tried to unlock some emergency funding, but his powers are limited and the bleeding doesn't seem to be stopping. He's ordered the leaders of both parties back to the negotiating table to hash out a bipartisan bill, but both have come to the table with their own demands and aren't in a compromising mood. Making things worse, he spends most of the day fielding angry calls from other world leaders. They've been watching the news and they're concerned about what they're seeing. Is the U.S. economy on the verge of collapse? Right now, everything's in a holding pattern, but it's about to get worse. Day 5. The scariest thing about day 5 of the American economic collapse isn't what's happening, it's what isn't happening. The stock market is staying shut, and no one seems in a hurry to open it again. Many of the banks that dealt with the cash rush yesterday are staying closed too, with some making people arrange meetings to do withdrawals in person or putting strict limits on the amount that can be taken out. Many smaller banks are just keeping their doors closed and not allowing anyone to withdraw money. Grocery stores are reinstating pandemic-era policies, only letting a small number of people in at a time, and by the time people do get in, most of the shelves are empty. But they say there's no scarier words than, "I'm the government and I'm here to help." Congress wasn't able to pass a relief bill yet, but they're still negotiating. Debts are coming due, and countries outside the U.S. are starting to wonder if the U.S. has a handle on things. They don't, but the president doesn't want everyone else to know that. The first priority is an infusion of cash to start paying off bills, and the best way to do that is by printing a lot of money. An executive order has the Federal Reserve putting cash on the printer, and the US is able to take care of some pressing issues. But that has a nasty side effect, diluting the US dollar and contributing to an already brutal inflation number. We're not quite at Zimbabwe level yet, where they printed billion-dollar bills and people needed to show up to stores with wheelbarrows of cash, but economists are getting nervous. And a far bigger crisis might be just around the corner. The United States debt ceiling is the key to keeping the machine running, and the US usually runs a heavy debt. And when they don't have the money on hand to pay for something, they just borrow more. The government sets a limit on the amount of debt the country can carry, and periodically they have to vote to raise it. That deadline is sneaking up fast, and while the congressmen are debating on what a relief bill should look like, this might be an even more pressing concern. Because if the debt ceiling doesn't get raised, the US defaults on its debt, and that's when things get really bad. Day 6. Congress has been called back to vote on raising the debt ceiling, and the whole country and the world is watching with bated breath. If they pass the bill, the US will be able to find some creditors to tide them over until the economic crisis passes. If it fails, default will come almost immediately on a segment of non-bond US debt, further undermining confidence in the economy and sending not just the US markets, but the world markets into a panic as the world's largest economy continues to convulse. With the stakes high, surely a clean bill can be passed to give the debt ceiling a temporary boost, or at least pass a temporary dispensation, right? Nothing's ever so easy in Congress. It's clear the tensions from the relief bill are spilling over from the minute the debate begins, with multiple congressmen stepping up to raise objections to the bill or offer amendments that are only loosely related to the matter at hand. Arguments fill the halls of the House of Representatives, and to making things worse, the controlling party only has a 5-seat margin, with around 10 hardline members who often disagree with leadership. They need 218 votes to pass raising the debt limit, but the final bill has multiple poison pill amendments that have angered both the base and radicals. And when the vote roll is called, it falls short with only 210 votes. And the entire world watches, as the United States is about to default on a portion of its debt as of midnight. Around the world, in stock markets that are still operating, people start selling off their shares of American companies. The American dollar continues to decline rapidly, and the exchange rate becomes brutal for Americans looking to spend money outside of the country. And around the world, various powers start to sharpen their knives as the US looks weaker than it's been in over 100 years. Could this be the end of the United States as a great power, or will it be another economic bump in the road? A whole lot of people are waiting to find out. Day 7. As the economic crisis enters its first full week, the president is not happy. He's already called up the leaders of both parties, reading them the riot act, and then watched with dismay as the clock rolled over and America officially was unable to pay its debts. He spent the rest of the early morning on the phone with allies, assuring them this was only a temporary problem and they'd get their money in short order. Some, like most of Europe, were understanding, although rumblings in the streets of Europe was that doing business with America was not a good proposition right now. But other countries were less understanding. China, the single biggest US creditor, wasted no time, and reports started circling the globe of outposts of US companies being placed under Chinese control and US ships being detained at Chinese ports. The president had several tense phone calls with Chinese leadership, but the Chinese were cagey and wouldn't admit that there was an official policy of seizing US assets, although they wouldn't deny it either. And in the throes of a massive economic crisis at home, the US wasn't looking to add an international crisis to that. So the president had little choice but trust China's word and slink away quietly. Back on the home front, things were about to go from bad to worse. A week into the crisis, many companies were struggling with a massive cash flow problem. Many owners had seen their company's value drop like a rock, or had problems getting the cash they needed to grow their business. Expansion plans were put on hold, planned loans were canceled by timid lenders, and thousands of small and mid-sized businesses had seen their narrow profit margin disappear and were forced to close up shop when it was clear they would not be able to make this month's rent. And that put tens of thousands of new people out of work and on the unemployment rolls, causing massive backlogs in the systems. Tensions are rising and people don't know where their next paycheck will come from. That's a recipe for a tinderbox about to explode. Day 8. One area hasn't suffered much in the economic disaster: social media. As the pandemic grows, everyone with access to the internet is using social media to vent and make their own suggestions for what to do, and everyone seems to hate every other idea. Political tensions are higher than ever, and everyone seems to agree on one thing: it's the government's fault.
Meet the new standard in sleep. This is Pod 4 Ultra. It's
Takes is one spark to make things boil over, and this comes when a video goes viral of an interaction at a supermarket. An old woman with a basket of groceries finds that her credit card has been declined and is roughly handled by security when she begs them to let her take the food anyway. That sparks a brawl in the store, with customers brawling with security and later police. The footage spreads around the world in a matter of hours, and the public is not happy. It starts as localized riots around the scene of the initial fighting, but soon people in cities and suburbs around the country are taking to the streets. Some are ransacking supermarkets in a stepped-up version of the initial food wars. Others are taking their frustrations out on government buildings, looting stores, or brawling with the authorities in the streets. The police are out in force, trying to maintain order, but some find themselves outnumbered, and others aren't interested in fighting with ordinary Americans in a panic over the economy. The public feels like the government isn't doing anything, and that's something that cuts across all political lines. And one figure is taking more of the heat than anyone else. When a mob of protesters starts gathering at the White House, the Secret Service keeps an eye on it nervously. After all, protesting is legal. But when they start approaching the fence and tossing things over it, they spring into action. The Secret Service quickly tries to disperse the crowd, but several agents are injured by tossed bottles. They fight back, arresting some protesters and injuring others, and the president is quickly ushered down to the White House bunker. The crowd is eventually dispersed, but it's clear something has unleashed, and it's not going away anytime soon. And the rest of the world has noticed too. Day 9. The footage of American cities and suburbs in flames has gone viral around the world, and the president has given a shaky speech from the bunker calling for peace. To put it lightly, it didn't raise anyone's confidence about the state of things. States have begun calling up the National Guard to restore order, but reports are coming in of guardsmen refusing their orders. After all, they might be facing off against their own loved ones, and many of them are also looking at their bank accounts, terrified of what's happening. Even more businesses choose to close down after last night, some suffering serious damage in the unrest, and others not wanting to expose themselves to the riots if they kick off again. And some radical solutions are being proposed. So what's more important, the United States' economic health or the country staying a democracy? Powerful members of both parties have called for the president to declare a state of emergency and take extreme measures, including seizing the assets of some of the country's most powerful billionaires. After all, those several $100 billion might come in handy. Of course, they probably can't agree on which billionaire should be first in line, probably the one they disagree with the most. But one isn't waiting to find out. Word starts getting around that Elon Musk took a private plane to Canada overnight where he still has citizenship. And he's not the only one losing faith. Word starts spreading around the world of more and more American assets being seized by other countries. It continues in China, but other less powerful countries are joining in. Even the U.S.'s allies in the EU and the Anglosphere are sounding increasingly agitated about the situation, demanding answers from the president as the U.S. dollar keeps inflating and the political situation gets increasingly volatile. Around the country, those well-versed in financial matters decide to get what they can while the dollar still has some value. And many try to trade their cash in for commodities with a solid value, like gold. But will gold even be worth anything in the event of a complete economic collapse? Day 10. Most people have lost faith in the United States' ability to pull itself out of this economic crisis anytime soon. And it's looking more like a full-on collapse than a recession or depression. The dollar has plunged to an all-time low around the world. Thousands of businesses close by the day, and the public is in a panic. The president addresses the nation again, announcing emergency executive orders keeping the stock markets closed and instituting strict limits on cash withdrawals to prevent another bank run. However, he doesn't announce any of the far-reaching radical moves some wanted, although many say it's just a matter of time. All around the world, massive ripple effect.
Real quick, the brother Jay Manson hit on something. If an economic collapse was to happen, a state of emergency will be called. And if that state of emergency happens during the time of the presidency, which will be ending at 2029, 2030, you dig what I'm talking about? Going into 2030, if we are in economic recession and martial law is called, or he can definitely, he will, by law, stay in, Trump will stay in office. You know what I mean? Right now the boy working. I can't even hate on Trump right now. There's, we dangling out there a little bit, but what he's doing is working. So, but yeah, that's definitely how he get that third term. You dig what I'm talking about? They definitely looking at it.
Act begins to emerge. Even the U.S.'s closest allies see a grim trend. Pending details with American companies are called off. Ongoing projects are put on hold, and branches of American businesses abroad start to shut down due to the contraction of the U.S. economy. Many online markets stopped taking the dollar altogether because it's too volatile to make a reliable currency as it declines by the day. The seizure of American businesses and ships in less friendly countries continues, but the U.S. is too preoccupied to care at the moment, and many American citizens abroad start to head home. Not that home is looking all that inviting, as the public starts to prepare itself for a prolonged economic crash and possibly a total collapse. What'll they need? The hoarding we saw in the first days wasn't exactly productive, but longtime preppers have a plan for the worst-case scenario. They're stocking up on food with a long shelf life, water filters to ensure a supply of clean water, clothing for the winter, tools including axes that will allow them to cut wood for fire and serve as a weapon in a pinch, first aid kits, battery-operated radios, and flashlights in case the power goes out. Most of these are worst-case scenario items for total societal collapse rather than an economic collapse, but who knows where we're headed. Is there a way out of an economic collapse? That heavily depends on what the government does. Some countries like Venezuela and Zimbabwe doubled down on faulty policies that led to hyperinflation and greater isolation from the world. Others like Argentina were able to rebound from defaulting on their debt by negotiating with their creditors and restructuring their debt. It was a long, hard 4-year depression, but they eventually started rebounding economically and came out of the default. They just needed to work together and establish savvy policy. Good luck with that, Congress. Want to learn more about what happens when it all goes south? Check out what happens to a country when it goes bankrupt.
Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all, you dig what I'm talking about, what it looked like when it really go bad. With that being said, let me get the vortex moving, man. Y'all hit me with some vortexes in the chat, man. Y'all hit me with some vortexes in the chat. Let me get this thing moving. All right, let's cook. Let's go here real quick. This is Jehovah Chronicles, number 231. Right? Number 231, man. We moving and grooving. You dig what I'm talking about? On my way up to 250. You dig what I'm saying, man? Make sure you thumb up the video, share the live out. Somebody gotta I'm gonna set me up a TikTok because I need to, tap in over there, see what's going on. I ain't never really even been on there before. So I probably need to tap in. Everybody telling me I need to. So you dig what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna be making me a TikTok page come soon. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm gonna probably stay on the heavy Aboriginal indigenous American talk, but throw my jaja up in there. You dig what I'm talking about? You ain't even an Indian if you don't praise the Great Spirit. So you dig what I'm talking about? You ain't hardly a Nazarite or an Israelite or an Essene if you ain't praising the Great Spirit. You can't be a Brahmin. In fact, if you're not praising the Great Spirit of Vedic, a Hotian, which is an Israelite of Asia, or a Confucian, you dig what I'm talking about? The followers of Confucius, you dig what I'm talking about? You can't, in fact, be one. You could call yourself whatever you want to, but you and I know what's going on because you must live the life. You can't say, I'm one of this, I'm some of this, but you don't live the life. But before we go left, let's get back into the topic. Jehovah Chronicles. This is Oahspe's view on the government. Huh? What Oahspe got to say about the government? Shout out to everybody, man, for coming through. Love, light, balance, man. Let me see. I'll turn that down just a little bit. Just a little bit. This is the Book of Su. This is out of Oahspe, the Book of Earth, Sky, and Spirit. You dig what I'm saying? Book of Su, chapter 3. right? And we're gonna read down a little bit into the book of Sue. And let me get over here real quick. All right, here I go. Oh shit, excuse me. Right, let's get into Oahspe's view on the governments of man. Book of Sue, chapter 3 and 1 through 5. Right, the Creator spoke through Sue. This is a man, but also at the time true God. The Creator through Sue saying, "Mine is a strong government and everlasting. Listen to the wisdom of your Creator, O my sons and daughters. Where have I not given liberty to all people? He who does right, where is he not free? He who does wrong, where does he have liberty? Whoever endeavors to surpass himself, have I not shown him his limit? I created man at zero, but only for him to add to himself forever. And I gave liberty to add only to which perfects his own soul." Let me read that again. I created man at zero. Think about it. As a baby, you didn't even know nothing. You didn't even know what you were. You didn't know your species, your name, anything. Right? So that's what he's saying. I created him devoid of knowledge. I created man at zero, but only for him to add to himself forever. I gave him liberty to add only that which perfects his own soul. For which reason, listen, for which reason, if he eats poison, it takes from his body, you get sick. Huh? You do some ill, you get some bad. He says, for which reason? If man eats poison, it takes from his body, right? Which I gave. He says, here I made a boundary both on earth and in heaven, which is to say, to the extent that man accumulates virtue, wisdom, patience, love, truth, and pure words, he is free. Because in doing so, he follows me in my works. But he who seeks to glorify himself in his possessions binds himself, because he is unlike me. For I gave all and thus made the universe. He said, I have created two states. I have created two states, therefore open to all men, both on earth and in the atmosphere or in heaven, which are what? Two states, which are liberty and bondage. And he says, I made man to choose which he will, but so that he might not err. Behold, I send my emancipated angels to explain these things beforehand. And look, 361, the explanation, right? Oahspe is that type of information, huh? He says, I send my angel so man don't get mixed up. He don't get it twisted up. Because you got to choose liberty or bondage. It hit different once you understand that indoctrination. You dig what I'm talking about? Once you understand why people can't pull away from it. because they chose to put themselves there. Huh? And what you're bound to here, you're bound to there. But you can't say he didn't send you the information. But all in due time. Even for those who don't get this right now, you'll get it. Trust me. This thing is about to ring out forever. All right? Look, he said, and I made man to choose that which he will, liberty or bondage. But so that man might not err, behold, I send my emancipated angels to explain these things beforehand. Oahspe is that info. Even so, listen, even so our governments, listen, even so our governments ordained by my holy ones. Accordingly, you may judge whether a government is of me or against me. You see that? You judging. It's not God judging. You judging. And do you want to know if your own government is for the creator or against the creator? How you do that? Let's go see what he said. For if it gives liberty to all righteous works and for the promotion of knowledge, providing teachers to the extent of the demand, it is of me. Huh? We may got a lot of teachers, but you're going to be $100,000 in debt trying to get that information. Huh? So even before you get out into the world, you're already in debt to what? So is your country more to the way of the creator or not? And he said, I made man to choose that which he will, so that he might not err. All right? So even so, our governments ordained by my holy ones, accordingly you may judge them, whether a government is for the creator or against the creator. For if it gives liberty to all righteous works and for the promotion of knowledge, providing teachers to the extent of the demand, it is of me. But listen, but if the government makes itself a self, huh? The United States federal government, isn't it a business organization, a NGO, a corporation functioning as a government? Well, isn't a business a person? Even by their own law? So if it's not a self and it's not a real thing, how is it taxing you? Huh? Ask yourself, did the United States government make us a self of itself? Huh? For its own aggrandizement, for its own big up, for its own development. Huh? Ask yourself, did your government do this? But if the government makes itself a self, a business in a sense, for which its aggrandizement, what does aggrandizement mean? Development, accumulation, greatness, increase in extent, power, might, prominence, stature, influence, insignificant, and profit. Significance, profit, power, prominence, greatness, increase in extent. Did it make itself a self of itself for aggrandizement? Yes, it's called taxes. Check. Hit me with a 1 in the chat if you're starting to get it. This was Oahspe is saying about governments. if it's of him. But if it's not of him, it makes itself a self, for which its aggrandizement is at the expense of my children's liberty. Then it is against me. Huh? Look what Oahspe said. For I have not created a people to be today as their forefathers were, but provided them with perpetual growth in wisdom and virtue, for which reason the rising generations, me and you, shall rebel against that which was well and good for their forefathers. Civil rights don't work without human rights, correct? How many times they didn't call you black, African, Negro, colored, Indian, free person of color, free man, free the man, nigga, that which was good for my forefathers ain't good enough for me. We know civil rights don't work. When the last time you got a civil rights check? Did you get a house, interest-free home? Interest-free loan on a home? You know that comes with civil rights? You know an EBT card, day one come with it? Everything that they've been giving the Mexicans and all the illegals crossing over to the border come with civil rights. It's only really for these so-called blacks, but gays and white women get it because they are a quote-unquote minority. For I have not created a people to be today as their forefathers were, but provided them with perpetual growth in wisdom and virtue, for which reason the rising generation shall rebel against which was well and good for their forefathers. All my governments understand that. All my governments on earth and in heaven understand this. Whatever government does not accept this rule shall go down to destruction. For as I have hedged man about with sentinels, listen, this is as above, so below. For as I have hedged man about with sentinels, such as pestilence, poverty, and hunger, in order to awaken in him the knowledge, in order to awaken him to knowledge, and industry, so have I hedged in all governments under the sun with sentinels. Listen up. This is how you know if it's of the creator or if it's not, if it's on the rise or if it's on the decline. He hedged in the government. This is ways to just like you got ways to tell that you sick, you broke, you hungry. You got a way to tell if a government is good. And if it's going good. If it's not, you're gonna have things such as rebellion. Assassinations. War. And bankruptcy. And this is why I showed the video in the first place. Because this is the one thing we haven't seen in our lifetime. We've been right there, but as you've seen, we were able to pull it from the brink. Right? But in a purposeful collapse, then what? The thing is to just be prepared. Right? Because we got all this is going on right now. Rebellion, assassinations, and war. Didn't they just they tried to kill Trump twice? Didn't they just splat the dude from the United Healthcare Luigi Mangione shot that man in his face. What we got next, y'all? It ain't hard to tell. As pestilence proves man's disobedience to my commandments, so do rebellion and anarchy prove the disobedience of governments to the progressive spirits which I created with man. Show y'all something else. This is Book of God's Word. Right, let me blow this up a little bit. This is the Book of God's Word. This is Zarathustra, right? The first great prophet of the world, right? Talking to Ahura Mazda, who would be called God, but he is not the creator. He's just an angel, a high-raised angel. This is who Ahura Mazda is. The so-called Ahura Mazda is named after. Remember, Ahura, excuse me. Where was I at? Oh, excuse me, right here. Ahura is the name of our people. Me and you. Large, copper colored, negroidal. Long, black, coarse, negroidal head. This is the Ahura. This is the dominant man on the planet. This is circa 9,000 years ago, 7,000 BC. And Mazda means Lord of. So, like, master of man. Right? So he's talking to a god, Ahura Mazda. Right? Zarathustra inquired concerning what? Government. To which Ahura Mazda, aka God, right? It's just another term for God. A one-time living, breathing man over man. Ahura Mazda. This is the people. This is his title. The Lord of man, the Ahuan. Right? But a certain type, the dominant people on the planet. To the all pure disciples, there is no need of government. Zarathustra asked God about government. Ahura Mazda said, to the all pure disciples, there is no need of government except to do the will of Mazda, or the master light. Right? Master, Mazda. Or means light. So the master of light, or master light. Or Mazda, another name for the creator. To the all pure disciples, there is no need for government except to do the will of the creator. But no people are all pure. No people are all wise. Two kinds of government the creator created. The first is his own, the government of the master of light, or Hamas. And the second is the government of mortals. The second is the government mortals have among themselves. So there's two kinds of government already. One above, the government of the creator, and one below, the governments mortals have between themselves. But as above, So below, Zarathustra inquired if government did not abridge liberty or constrict it. He's asking, doesn't government constrict liberty? Ahura Mazda said, the Mazdian government gives liberty so far as man's government takes after the Mazdian government, it gives liberty also. Watch this. I want to bring it down a little bit. I want to drop it down a little bit. Let's go down here. If y'all following, go down to verse 14. Because watch what Zarathustra asks, and watch what God say. Right? Zarathustra inquired concerning the smallest of cities, right? Ahura Mazda answered him, saying, listen, the smallest city is a man, his wife, and their children. Huh? Your own household is a kingdom. The smallest type of city, kingdom, throne in the world is a man, his wife, and their children. Huh? Even as the people in a large city are one with another, so shall a man, his wife, and their children be one with another. And as a large city must have a head father, so shall a small one. Whatever has no head is nothing. And as a large city must have a head father, so shall a small one, right? Whatever has no head is nothing. This is why it's dope that we don't follow behind no man, but we got a head. We got a leader. If y'all know that one, the only one that's leading us, the only one we following behind is the creator, hit me with some vortexes in the chat. Huh? If you know it ain't nothing but the Great Spirit, hit me with that vortice. Huh? Because whatever has no head is nothing. Huh? But ain't no man never gonna be my head. So ain't it great that we got that responsibility taken up off us and we follow creator, and that's just to do good. Checkmate. That's how you beat white supremacy. That's how you beat the capitalistic society. Zarathustra said, look, and a large city must have a head father, and so shall a small one. Huh? So a large city or a city period is like a man, his wife, and his family. They're equating both of them as the same thing, and they're saying both shall have a head, because whatever has no head is nothing. Zarathustra said, in the government of a large city, the fathers speak on a subject, and after them, the head father decrees. Ahura Mazda says, look what Ahura Mazda say. Ahura Mazda dropping game. This 9,000 years ago, y'all. He said, it shall be the same in a family of a husband and wife. You run a marriage like the government of a city. Won't that make sense? Let's go back. Zarathustra said in the government of a large city, right? This is how they get things done, right? We got boards and Congress and the Senate and all that stuff in our large cities. Different chambers and, chamber of commerce and all this, So we see this even today. The fathers, the wise men, the congressmen, the politicians, whoever speak on the subject, and after them, the head father, one nigga, make the decision. Look what Ahudu Mazda say. He said, it shall be the same in the family of a husband and wife. The wife shall speak first. The wife shall speak first. Not sit in the corner and be quiet, wait on your man to do something. No. Look how you can't have one without the other. You gotta have the balance. They're both necessary. So look who speak first. The wife shall speak first, and then the children next, if old enough. And after that, then the father shall decree that which is a good law for a large city. Listen, this is game. That which is good law for a large city is good for a small one. As the kingdoms of heaven are governed, so shall the kingdoms of earth be governed. Huh? Yeah. We're just getting the Oahspe's view on the government. And notice, it's saying it's inspired of me. But it can go left. How do you know it's going left? Assassinations, assassination attempts, murder, high crime. Huh? Are they charging you for education? Let's go over here to the book of divinity. God, right? This is chapter 1. Book of divinity, right? God, look at this, y'all. Hold on, let me go back. God, who everybody in the religion is praising, is the son of somebody. He the son of who? The creator, Yahweh, Jehovah. So guess what? Jehovah makes God. God is a one-time living, breathing man, just like you are right now. Are you not the son or daughter of the creator? If you don't know, because God is the son of the creator. So how you ain't? If God got a daddy, how he ain't your daddy? Huh? Ain't none without no father. Ain't no bastards. None. We all got the same father. We all got the same mother. Huh? Let it sink in for a second. God, the son of the creator, said, by virtue of my own authority and in the name, listen, in the name of the creator, in the name of Yahweh, God is putting something on a greater power than himself. Let that sink in. God ain't the end all be all. It's something past God. And then it's something past that. And then it's something past that. And behind it all is Yahweh, the creator. Unseen, incomprehensible. The creator of all things. So God put that on I put it on my daddy. In the name of my own authority. And in the name of the creator of all things, Yahweh, peace and comprehensive judgment to all angels and mortals, that from the little that has been demonstrated in the world of governments and principalities being manifested on earth, you may be taught that similar organic bodies exist in the heavens belonging to the earth. He's saying by what you got on earth, you can compare and contrast what we got up in heaven, because one was inspired of the other. This is the macro to the micro to the macro, right? Which heavenly places and governments were the cause and forerunners of good governments manifested among mortals. So, government, right, and especially all the good ones, were inspired, right, because of their forerunners, right, which are the organic bodies that exist in heaven. These governments, which the heavenly places and governments were the cause, were the cause and forerunners of good governments manifested among mortals. That's from the very first one, whatever it was, to the one we got now. All good ones were inspired and caused by what came before them. As above, so below. I told you we're going to still apply it. Creator said, he who is chief of a government on earth shall be called a king, a president, right? But he who is chief in my heavenly government shall be called God. The Creator said, he who is chief of a government on earth shall be called king or president or dictator. But he who is chief of my heavenly government shall be called God, a one-time living, breathing man, and something you shouldn't be praising. As a matter of fact, if your God has ever asked you for praise and then doubled down and said and hit you with the fear doctrine that says, if you don't praise me, I'm going to do XYZ to you. That is objective proof, right? That your God is false. Why? Because we see here, God is just the chief over a heavenly government, no different than the president is the chief over an earthly government, or hence a God ruling amongst the council of gods. No different. No different at all. Not at all. Because God and whoever the president is are nonetheless both men. God rules among angels. The president rules among men. When men die, they turn into angels, spirits. It's what it is. Where you think grandma at? I, who am God, in my own behalf for the enlightenment of the world, declared the glory and wisdom of the Creator above all things on earth and in heaven above. Say it again, big bruh. I, listen, who am God, in my own behalf, don't nobody speak for me, and for the enlightenment of the world, declare the glory and the wisdom of the creator above all things on earth or in the heavens above. Come on, man. As Jehovah provided that no man could be king forever, but must give way to his successor, even so in his heavens, he also provided for his gods and lords to have successors at certain periods in time. For instance, remember we were in the book of Sue, right? The book of Sue takes place roughly 20,000 years ago, or roughly 18 ashar, or 7 arc cycles ago, right? Roughly 20,000 years ago, right? You had Su as the true head god. That's during the 18th arc cycle. During the 22nd arc cycle, where we was talking about where Zarathustra at, another god is in control. His name is Fergapati. During the 23rd arc cycle, another goddess, a goddess, is in control. Her name is Simti-Armaj, right? 24th arc cycle, which is the arc cycle of Bond. There is another god. His name is Lika. And right now we are in the 25th arc cycle, the arc cycle of Cosmon. Now we are in the 177th year. Right? And roughly the 12th day, 12th to the 14th day, of the 177th year of the Cosmon era. Right? But just like in the 24th arc cycle, we had Lika. Today, we don't even got a god. We got a goddess. Shout out to the big sister, Shesivi, Antithotis, the Antithoter. That is a person who applies the line of lights of creator. This is it's a job in a sense. What they do is manifest the light that things need to get done with. As the creator provided that no man could be a king forever, but must give way to a successor, even so in his heavens, he also provided for his gods and lords to have successors at certain times and periods. Today, we don't even got a god. We got a goddess. Pray to goddess. You dig what I'm talking about? Give her a little love out there. You dig what I'm talking about? Because they always be talking about God this, God that. Shout out to the goddess, Shay Seavey. You dig what I'm talking about? That's big sis. You dig what I'm talking about? We don't praise her. That's the big homie. She made it. Let's go right here to the first book of God, right? 12 and 8. Look who talking. Shout out to my Israelite brothers, man. Y'all share this thing out, man. Y'all get this live cracking, man. Let them know Cosmon ain't. I'm not for play. I'm gonna show you what I'm saying. And this is the Jehovah Chronicles 231. Oahspe's view on government. Right? We just going back, seeing what he got to say. But look who talking, y'all. That's right. Big homie say, Abraham inquired concerning what? Government. And God said to Abraham to teach people to dwell together in peace, order, harmony, and love, being disciplined to these. What more is required? Government belongs to the king's people, to the world's people. Ain't you supposed to be a cut above? Well, then why you worry about what the government talking about? Government belong to the world people. Abraham said, "Oh God, teach me more regarding these matters, for I am like one in the dark cellar groping about. Behold, my people are unlearned." Huh? But look what God said. God said, who learned, nigga? Who you talking about learn? Who? Who is learned? Where he at? Look what God say. God said, I say to you, he who knows the stars, the rocks, the mountains, the valleys, and all that is living and dead, and the languages of the ancients, but does not know the Creator, is unlearned. But he who knows the Creator is learned indeed. Huh? This why y'all can't deal with Cosmo. This why you can't deal with Selah Shalom. This why you can't deal with Daryl Cosmo. This why you can't deal with the young light bomb Malachi Maccabee. Why? Because these brothers know the Creator. And that make them truly learn, and then they go study. This why the combinations always hit. We don't never miss. Why? Because we understand the Creator. This makes you wise indeed. If you know that now, hit me with a 2 in the chat. Huh? You can know all this stuff. What he say? You could do, nigga, archaeology, paleontology. You can know the rocks, the moons, geomagnetic, electromagnetic, electricity. You can know everything. But if you don't know that Creator, huh? You really just unlearned. But he who knows the Creator is learned indeed. Shout out to the 4 horsemen. It said, out of the Algonquins. It said, look for the people who standing by the Creator. Huh? It said, look for them. Look for them people that's standing on the Creator. Huh? They're going to be the remnants of the Algonquins. What? It's only 4 people y'all doing this. It's just us. Just us 4 niggas. Oahspe saying, we Algonquins. Put it together. Look what it say. It is better that your people dwell in tents and under trees, and their children roll on the ground and do not die, but grow strong in person and spirit for the glory of the Creator, than to dwell with the king's people, with the world's people, in magnificent cities and in lust and death. To your God, He talking to Abraham. He said to me, my nigga, your people are a most learned people. Right? Oh yeah. We got a whole book on judgment. And guess what he judged? The government's a man. Huh? Tell them what they think about your Cosmon. Huh? This is what God think. I ain't mad. These ain't my words. How you know they got words? How you know they not? It say it is. Let's see if it got some merit to it, right? This why you can't whoop Oahspe. This why they always talking and bubbing and flip oogly googing. They ain't never trying to step up. They got a lot to say from the peanut gallery. Huh? Oh, tell me to stop. What did he do? He was in the way. Yeah, I get on. This is chapter 35 in the book of Judgment. Chapter 35, book of Judgment. God declares against the governments of man. One second. All right, right back at it. God declares against the governments of man, right? And God said, this big bro, this your brother, not your father. All right? But we know what God loved. God loved the truth. He said, whoever lives with the Creator is free from the Creator. Let that sink in. Whoever lives with the Creator is free from the Creator. These need no man's government. Huh? But they practice righteousness, peace, love, industry, and wisdom with due regard to one another. Such is the Father's kingdom on earth, in which there shall be no laws made by man. This is what we prepping up for. This is what we building. Such is the Father's kingdom on earth, in which there shall be no laws made by man, neither shall there be leaders nor rulers. The progress of man is towards this. The progress of the governments of man should shape towards such a consummation. He's saying they should do the same thing. The time was when laws were required for all things, even to the manner of a man coming in and going out of a house, and to every occupation that a man followed, with licenses and taxes regulating them. A time of a time of apprenticeship to a barber, a weaver, a lawyer, physician, preacher, smith, and to all other trades and occupations, with examinations, passports, diplomas, licenses to practice within the king's dominion, with rates for fees and rights and privileges. We see this today. Huh? We see this today. But these laws and governments were for the past eras. They were righteous in the first place, for they shaped man's judgment towards perfecting himself. But behold, a new time is in the world. As a result of the acquisition of knowledge, a new liberty has been born into the world, and it cries out on every side. Throw open the doors to all trades and occupations. Behold, the multitude are sufficiently wise to judge for themselves as to whom they shall or shall not patronize. Judgment is rendered against the laws and governments of man in all cases where they prevent liberty and choice of man as to his vocation and knowledge. It is not sufficient for you to say, behold, the public will be taken advantage of by ignorant pretenders. It is not sufficient for you to say, behold, the public will be taken advantage of by ignorant pretenders. You have no right to say what the public will suffer, and thus base a law on prospective damage. You trying to put a law on something that ain't even happened. Just trying to keep the upper hand. When the public has suffered, and when they themselves demand protection by such laws, then such laws shall be made. To make such laws beforehand is to sin before the Creator, and that's what they doing today. It was said of old. Listen, it was said of old, you shall keep the Sabbath day holy. And it was defined what a man should do, what a man should not do on that day. Listen, judgment is rendered against that law. Nevertheless, I do not put aside the practice. So judgment is rendered against the law itself. But he's saying I'm not putting aside the practice. Why? But the time, why? Because the time has now come when man shall himself judge as to whether he will or will not keep any day secret. So if you want to keep the Sabbath, do that. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you don't, and you want to do something else on the Sabbath, or you don't want to do nothing, that ain't no sin. It's all up to you. Because now the time has now come when man shall himself judge as to whether he will or will not keep any day sacred. Moreover, from this time forward, man shall not be held accountable as to whether he keeps or does not keep any day sacred as a sacred day. Yet this accountability shall be upon all men, whether they fulfill in wisdom and righteousness to the utmost of their capabilities or capacities. Excuse me. Let me go back and read it. Moreover, from this time forward, man shall not be held accountable as to whether he keeps or does not keep any day as a sacred day. He's not going to be held accountable. Yet, this accountability shall be upon all men, which is whether they fulfill in wisdom and righteousness to the utmost of their capacities. There was a law against circumcision, but I rendered judgment against that law also, for it has fulfilled its time. This law I put aside in practice, but I give permission to the adult to have himself circumcised according to his own judgment. Judgment is also rendered against infant baptism, and I put aside this law also, and I make it an abomination before the Creator. Ooh. Nevertheless, when a child has reached 14 years of age and it chooses of its own accord to be sprinkled with water to conform to rites and ceremonies, then that child shall be thus baptized in the name of the Creator, but not in the name of God, nor any Lord, Savior, or angel. This is wisdom, old man. This is wisdom. Listen, this is what Oahspe think about government. This is wisdom, old man. To have no law of government between man and wife. Why? This is ignorance to have law between man and his wife. Yet, because there are bad men and bad women who do marry, it has been found necessary to have a law between man and wife regarding their duties. But consider how wrong it is. Listen, consider how wrong it is to have a law between a good man and a good wife regarding their duties. It is better for them to be thrown upon their own love and judgment. I gave governments and laws to all peoples in the following manner. To the bad and evil minded, rigid laws with many details. But to the wise and good, I come now as an emancipator, saying, go, and without laws and government, fulfill your destinies according to your own judgment, so that you may be an honor and a glory to the Creator. In Cosmos, today, we in the 177th year. When did Cosmos start? 1848. So we are in 2025. In Cosmos, man shall no longer be driven in yoke and harness, and he shall stand upright before his Creator, practicing his highest light with rejoicing, being a free man and a brother to his God. Listen, practicing his highest light with rejoicing, being a free man and a brother, not a son, to his God, a brother to his God. Behold, the world's people, the Oahspeans, the destroyers, those who pull apart constantly, have a custom of eating bread, Ain't these your Christians? Israelites got these same customs. Eating meat and bread, getting drunk. Behold, the destroyers, the world's people, the indoctrinated, the dogmatic, have a custom of eating bread and drinking wine. Saying, who say this? Like the worshipers of the Balgan god, the ancient god of blood and guts. You think that was just by chance? People was just doing that everywhere? No, that's a type of rulership. Like the worshipers of the ancient Balgan god, which is a type of rulership. Of old, the bloodletting gods. Right? Eat this, for this is my flesh. Don't they say this? They got an old habit. They don't even know where they get it from. Don't they say, eat of this, for it is of my flesh, and drink of this, for it is my blood, signifying that which they do, that this which they do was commanded by me, God of heaven and earth. They saying that the religious folks got a custom of eating bread and wine, where they say, eat of this, for it is my flesh, drink of this, for it is my blood, signifying that this which they do was commanded by me, God of heaven and earth. This is called your Eucharist. When you eat the little cracker, drink the juice, it's supposed to be in a remnant of the cracker, supposed to be Jesus's literal flesh, symbolic flesh, and it's supposed to be the juice, supposed to be his literal blood and symbolic blood. Don't we see that today? Look what he got to say about it. Judgment is rendered against this custom with abhorrence. Ooh-wee. Jaja don't like that. Why? Told you don't eat the flesh, let alone eat a man. Ugh. Judgment is rendered against this custom with abhorrence. Moreover, from now on, it shall be known as blasphemy. It shall be known as blasphemy to the Most High, to the Creator. Your God, listen, your God has never Hmm? Your God has never, ever commanded man to eat flesh and blood. Never. Nor pretended. Uh-oh. This convict God of the Bible. He said, I never commanded it, nor did I pretend that bread and wine were flesh and blood. He said, nor did I command them to be eaten in remembrance of flesh and blood of any man born of woman. That's a shot to the head of the Eucharist. Huh? Look, we still practice this today. Watch this. They have a custom of decorating and draping themselves in black crepe and characterizing the same as a sign of mourning for the dead. Don't we go put on black when we go to the funerals and all that stuff? Huh? That come from the gods of the dead who wanted you to eat flesh and drink human blood. The Baogungan. You dig what I'm talking about? They also draped themselves in this black dress, characterizing the same sign of mourning for the dead. We still do that at funerals. We're black. I've done it. Judgment is rendered against such a custom, but without prohibition. He said, Jehovah creates alive, and the Creator takes life away, for all things are His. Remember your Creator with wisdom, and neither in your dress nor your habit shall you censure Him for what has been. Neither curb your full sorrow of your heart and your soul because your brother or your sister, your son or daughter, father or mother has passed away. You say, but remember, the Creator is over all His works and provides wisely for the living and the dead. The Creator has said to man, I have gave an earthly body so that he could learn earthly things. I gave a man earthly body so he could learn earthly things. But death I have given the man so that he could rise and to the inheritance of my heavenly kingdoms. And He appoints a time to all, to some an hour, to some a year, and to some 100 years. But everyone fulfills to result in wisdom and happiness and for the glory of the Almighty. And while all that stuff is going on in them cities, right? They worried about what the government gonna do this and asking somebody for that. Man, we gone. We been left y'all. Y'all still talking about what we gonna do. Put a political party together. Do this. Do that. That. We're gone. We ain't even gonna be here. We're gonna have our own city. But look how we found ours, right? Remember, I always told y'all, Oahspe was a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track and not your wig pushed back. See, this is one of the ways to defeat white supremacy. It's called communal living. This is why they're so big mad on Marxism, socialism, and some parts of communism, because it teaches true communal living. Ain't no big U's, ain't no little me's. Everybody rich. Why? Because it all go in the pot. You can't sell the land. You're just going to do good because that's just what you do. There's no other way to go. That's how it works. You do what you've been doing. And it go in the pot. So no, we make our own shoes. You just go get shoes when it's time to get shoes. You go get clothes when it's time to get clothes. You go get food when it's time to get food. No, we're not paying for electricity. No more water. No more lights. We're done. And we're gone. Not that we're not going to have these things, but we're not going to pay y'all for them. While y'all fighting what's going on in the city, faith is going to be gone in shalom, baby. Look how we get ours set up. Watch this. And this is from the book of Jehovah's Kingdom on Earth. I told you we got a step-by-step booklet. And it also came to pass that as some of the colonies were situated, listen, to the south, where it was warm, and some to the north, where it was cold, so the people went and lived in any climate suitable to them, continuing their membership wherever they went. It's coming. Right? And thus it had come to pass that in the Creator's kingdom on earth, man was what? Without government, such as man's government today. See, we in what is called a republic, right? But there is a higher form of government that comes after republic that is called fraternal, right? Not set up by no man's laws, doing good by the will of the Creator. And in that sense, that's what we're governed by. It's like a good man and a good wife. You would never need to put laws on them. How ignorant is that? Right? Listen to what it says. And thus it came to pass that in the Creator's kingdom on earth, man was without a government, such as man's government is today. And this was the next higher condition that came upon the earth after republics. Hold on, we in the republic right now. United States is a republic. So yeah, it's something coming up after it. What? We're learning right now. Fraternal living. And then even a higher step, no government. Huh? Nobody talking about this. They're not even thinking. They so bound to the system, so much on the rat wheel, they don't even know they're running. The angels of Creator, right? Perceiving this was coming to a pass, said to the faithless, listen. Who he said to? Listen what he told us. Huh? Y'all think this a joke? Do not bother your heads much about passing new laws for these niggas over there. Nor take any part in the government. So when you talk to well, we got to raise our sons and daughters to be the next kings, queens, and the next lawyers, and the next politicians, and they're still gonna be crooked. It's inherent in the position. It's just certain things you must do to be identified as in these certain positions. Just like it's certain things that so-called Israel do, certain things so-called Indians do, and you can look at people regardless to what their skin color is and notice by their culture, their heritage, what they're doing, what they're producing. You can notice by that who they are. Same thing happens with the politician, with the lawyer. You must be crooked. Just is. And even if you ain't, it corrupts you in the end of the day. It just is what it is. Right? I thought about, just going to get I know I could pass the bar. You dig what I'm talking about? I could be a lawyer. But then what do I got to do to get there? Do I want to? And you know what I mean? It's tough because creators say, jailhouses and lawyers are like feast for demons. They go in there and have, in the courts of law and just have fun. Demons. So to know you walking into the pits of hell every day, you dig what I'm talking about? To know it. You could think it's crooked or whatever, but to know it, that at its core, right? It has been corrupted because we know that its forerunner wasn't like that. But we also know that we ain't under a good government either. So, right? So it tell us to don't take part in the government. Whether it does this or whether it does that, mind your damn business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't hurting you. Right? Stay out the way. For what? Many men shall rise up saying that if the government would just make a law of peace, or if the government would just prohibit the traffic of this and drugs and women and oh my God, and baby, the killing, yeah. Huh? How many times you get up here? When we brothers gonna get together and march upon the system and yeah, we gonna take back of the land, brother. No, nigga. Huh? That ain't how it's done, cuz. It's a better way. Do not bother your heads much about the world's people. Huh? What they got going on. Why? Don't worry about what they doing. They ain't got nothing to do with you. There's a whole bunch of niggas. How many times I'm tired of you brothers, man. Y'all over here talking. Y'all ain't never did nothing. Nigga, what are you doing? Watch them people that's always trying to lead you to war. You know what I mean? They just because they can't think themselves out of a wet paper bag, their end all be all is to go get a gun. No. And we've done that. Didn't end up well for us. Huh? We know how to do it without busting a shot. How? By not fucking with you. Remember, white supremacy don't work without black backs. If you're not there, you see how they act when they were just trying to close down TikTok. Huh? Kick the niggas off TikTok? Oh my God. The world lost its man. No, the Americans, you cannot. Yeah. Nor take any part in the government. Don't raise your babies up to be slaves to this stuff. For many men shall rise up saying, if the government would just make a new law of peace, or if the government would just prohibit the traffic of drugs and children and do all this stuff. Huh? If they would just prohibit the manufacture of this curse or that curse. Look what the Creator say. But we say to you, all these things gonna fail. All of them. Huh? We say to you, all this bullshit gonna fail. Huh? Look, this big boss game. This big boss game. I want to hit you. I want y'all to hit me with a 4 in the chat for this one. Because look what he said. We gonna say to you all these dreams, all this pie in the sky. This is why they call me the cloud kicker. Huh? All that pie in the sky, we gonna stomp on it. Why? Because we got stuff down here to do. We say to you, all that bullshit gonna fail. Do not trust in the ungodly to do a godly thing. Well done. Do not trust the ungodly to do a godly thing. Do not trust the ungodlike to act like God. That is a dagger. Hit me with some foes in the chat if you get it. Trust none of these backwood, low vibratory, slicker in a can of oil, dirty back, but want to be Dudley do right at fake spiritual gurus. Don't trust the ungodly to do a godlike thing. The societies shall fail. The Peace Society, just so y'all know, the Peace Society now today is called the UN. The United Nations shall become a farce. Let that sink in. You watching it today. Didn't the United States pull out the UN? Uh-oh. Ain't they trying to break it up now? Why? Because the Peace Society shall become a farce. The Prohibitory Society shall be lost sight of. Listen, even churches that profess peace and temperance will not embrace peace and temperance. They will fraternize with liquor traffickers and with colonels and generals of war for the sake of policy. This is why you can't get these babies to go to church. See, the boast of the world's people shall be, this is a home for all peoples, and this is a dagger because this hits so home right now. Look what it say, y'all. I didn't make none of this up. This is 1881. The boast of the world's people shall be, in 2025, this is a home for all peoples in America. Right? Give me your, what does it say? Give me your broken, downtrodden, and whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, we a melting pot. Right? At the same time, even while they boasting, they shall be making prohibitory laws to the contrary. Huh? Wasn't Biden giving away fake security, social security numbers, old security, social security numbers to illegal migrants? Telling them, oh, yeah, you come in here, you can come in here. But then the government, same government, turn around and we got Trump about to do the greatest mass deportation and migration probably since the Israelites. Millions of people here illegal. And at the same time, they're telling us, oh, yeah, we come on in, y'all. They got prohibitory laws to kick y'all monkey asses out. Trump even got a card now to become a United States citizen. You got to pay $5 million. You know that? This is why creators say don't fuck with these people, man. They'll never have your best interests at heart. Even when you think they do, it's a trick. Even when it do help you for a minute on the back end, just turn around and look, because they getting some money on the backside. Trust me. All this is about power. The boast of the world's people today is that this is the home of the free, land of the brave. Why they put in the most comprehensive deportation package ever seen in the world, but it is what it is. This is why I tell us don't rock with it, because they talk out of both sides of their mouth, and they're trying to either way play both sides against you. But nevertheless, even while boasting, they shall make prohibitory laws to the contrary, for they have fallen under the lower light, and none can turn them the other way. You got to let Babylon burn. Now look, because why? Because under the name of liberty and patriotism, they shall claim the right to practice ungodliness. Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Afghani War, Ukraine, the genocide and extermination of the Palestinians, backed up by the United States. Under the name of liberty and oil, they claim the right to practice ungodliness, but you shall come out from among them, and be as a separate people to the world. Craig? Yeah. Be a separate people. Who ready? It's all coming, y'all. You know? It's all coming, man. Who we got in the chat, man? What's going on? As a matter of fact, I'll drop the link in the chat, man. Y'all want to pop on for a minute? Chop it up. You dig what I'm talking about? Come chop it up. What you cutting now? What you cutting now? But that's Jehovah Chronicles number 231, Oahspe's view on government. It goes even deeper. But remember, this ain't the end all be all, so it guarantees a fall. Something new on the horizon. You see it, you peep it, you perceive it. But when is it coming? You know? How is it coming? What should we be looking for? Should we even be looking? You might turn to a pillar of salt. My OGs had always told me, if you don't like the rules of the game, stop playing. So the question is, when you gonna go get your own? dig what I'm saying? Hey, man, y'all got something up out of this, man. Hit your boy with some fire emojis in the chat. You dig what I'm talking about? We gonna get on up out of here. I ain't even gonna beat you over the head too long tonight. I just wanted to give y'all a little view on how Oahspe see government. And you see, he rock with good government to an extent. But then what? You gonna govern good people who already govern themselves? Didn't you set yourself up as a business to turn around and tax the people? Uh-oh. Didn't you say slavery was okay? Uh-oh. America as a whole got some recompense to pay for. It is what it is. Here you go. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Let me see something real quick. With that being said, what? Yeah, as a matter of fact, what better video than to go ahead and end it on this right here, man. Shout out to my homeboy, man. This was right on time. This is Jehovah Chronicles, number 231. Huh? Number 231. You dig what I'm saying? Number 231. Oahspe's view on government. And they're saying, we ain't rocking with it, cuz. Go start your own. That's what Oahspe saying. How you gonna fix something that ain't broke? U.S. government work perfectly. You supposed to be on the bottom. That's why you where you at. It's made that way. It ain't broke. So the whole pull yourself up by your bootstrap, it's a trick. You do what I'm saying? Let me that. You know what I mean? Let me see. Let me share this with y'all, man. What better way to end it up out of here? Take it up. This is how you get put in rotation. This is how you get put in rotation. You put something a little snazzy. You saying a little something. You dig what I'm talking about? You can get put in rotation. Shout out to the homeboy Hurricane 313 in the house. You dig what I'm talking about? This is Oahspe's view on government. What better way to take it out? Right? Some underground fire from the homie. You dig what I'm talking about? Oh shoot, I got the homeboy in here. Like Allah, what it do? Why?
What it do, King? What it do,
What's going on? What's going on, man? Peace to the righteous gods. What's word?
Man, just out here chilling, man, up in my hotel room, my little suite up in San Jose, California.
You moving and grooving?
Out here moving and grooving, whipping and dipping, trying to get some money.
Yeah. You gotta stay on your tippy toes at all times.
Yeah, man.
What's the word though, man?
Man, just want to show my face up on here one time with your brother, man.
Man, you got to come back and bless the people with your experience so far with Oahspe, bro.
Man, it's a lot of light. It's things that we reading up in there that we kind of already know, that just confirming a lot of things.
Right.
Confirms a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Help me understand a lot more when I'm, help me really understand the Bible better. It answered a lot of questions. It connected the dots and filled in the holes. And so now what I go out and do to my brothers, I go out and read them the deal, and it connects the dots and fills in the holes.
Right. You know what I think I like the most? when I see it click on for a person, when they finally get it and they go, oh, you know, because it's gonna come that time to where everything falls in place, like do 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 do, and you just be like, wait a minute, what? You know what I mean? It's sometimes I can't every time I think about Oahspe, man, the old saying come up, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always think of that, man. You know what I mean? Because boy, this is some stuff in here. You know what I mean? And then there's some stuff that it revealed that's so plain, like, you know, been sitting in your face your whole life,
Whole
and
time.
it's fake. It'll bit you. You dig what I'm saying? And you were like, duh, I didn't see that. Duh.
Right.
Of course,
Right.
that's what that is. You dig
Right.
you know what I mean? So it'd be a lot of moments like that. But I'll tell you this, bro. In roughly 13 years, I've never not opened that book and not got my mind blown. Every
Man,
time.
me neither, bro. Me neither. You know, like I said, brother, it says there's a lot of questions. You know, like it's crazy because, like, you know, back in the day, I just had a problem with this, you know, Esau, you know, character, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, finding out, you know, learning about the Neanderthal and everything. They talk about the Neanderthal been here for millions of years and all that type of
Mhm.
stuff. And I remember trying to, you know, teach this to one of my sisters up in Sacramento, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she just came at me. She said, well, maybe the flood never flooded the whole earth. And that just hit me, right? And then I bring out the Oahspe and I'm like, hey, she was right. She was right. She didn't even know it, right? Because it
Mhm.
only flooded the continent of Pan. So, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
You
That
know what I
ain't what
mean?
it say. That ain't what it
Yeah.
say. I think this thing obviously it affected the world. First of all, you got to think about it. It caused tectonic motion.
Yeah.
The tectonic it cracked the planet like an egg. Directly opposite on the other side of the planet from where Pan is sunken, which is the
Right.
Florida Pacific, is
Right.
the mid-Atlantic ridge. It
Right.
was like just like if I shot an arrow through an apple, right?
Yeah.
Once I punch it on the one side, if it don't, it's gonna balloon out or crack out like a crack.
Huh.
You dig what I'm talking about? And that's exactly what we see in the mid-Atlantic ridge.
Right.
Think like a balloon expanding. Like if you holding a balloon in your hand and you press on one side, the other side blow up.
Yeah.
It expand. Same
Right.
thing. That's what Eighth did, and this was started tectonic movement. They think this shit millions of years old,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And this is why they always give you a time for Pangea when the planet was supposed to be all one. They only give it to you at a 100 million to 125 million years. Why? Because that's what it says in the carbon dating record. Right? But they don't know. What they don't know is that 100 million years carbon dated is only 24,000 actual years.
Dang.
Don't they say, man, they done found fossils for man 300 million years old?
Right.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm just no, but if you think about it, every 100 million carbon dated years is actually 24,000 actual years. Then if you date it back, that's 72,000 years. Exactly when Oahspe say men like me and you was created, upright thinking men.
Okay. Right.
So that's why I had to come with a theory for carbon dating. But
Right.
how do you rationalize that? You use other things that are known in history to happen.
Right.
Use two great things that was mentioned in Oahspe and in science, and that is the Laurentine glacial maximum and Younger
Mhm.
Dryas.
Right.
It is mentioned in both, and I use them as points of reference. And
Right.
then just so happen they happen at 12,000 and 24,000 year periods.
Right. Okay.
So that, like, how just miraculous that it all lines up.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And that's without me bad mouthing or tearing down carbon dating. Well, because I don't got no way to date this stuff either way. Right.
Right.
So I gotta go on what they saying the science is. But how you make that make sense? I know 300 million years ago, couldn't have nothing to live. There wasn't no air. Wasn't no air.
No way.
So, no, you did what I'm talking about. And then it's not till you really get in Oahspe, till you really start to figure out the numbers, how it really work. It's only been about 200 some thousand years air been on the planet.
Mm.
And from the triumph of air on the planet, so the explosion of life. But it had to kill what was here first. Okay, for instance, the air was poisonous. We know this for a fact.
Yeah. Like
But we
darkness,
also know
that type of deal.
we also know right before we start seeing early soft body amoeba-like life or any vertebrate life, they had massive trees and plants.
Huh.
The plants and all that stuff came first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But they were in the environment perfect for plants. Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, all that stuff is what plants eat. Right? Everything that kill a man is what plants eat.
Right.
And then they defecate out or poop out or respirate out oxygen, the stuff we need. Right? Well, if all the air on the earth is heavily carbonated, monoxide, which would have made the plants massive. I mean, I'm talking about in the clouds.
Right.
They would have been, real big. And everything else would have been real big. That was green.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? And
Right,
this is before animals and stuff.
Okay.
So, well, how, and the air is poisonous. Well, how do you bring life? You must clear the air, right?
Right.
And the creator put the earth in simu, condensed gelatinous material, and it pressed the air down and literally scrubbed the air like a carbon filter. But it kept pushing the material down all the way to the seabeds. And it literally became the seabeds. This is why the seabeds, the mountain, they know when this stuff happened. Right? They know when it happens because it's worldwide. And you can go back geologically and see massive areas of earth everywhere at the same time. The same thing is happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So the air was cleaned. That was called the triumph of oxygen on the planet. You can't have life like man has life or like animal has life if you can't breathe the atmosphere. So you had to clean the atmosphere. And that's how it was done. Heat and scorching mega hot material dropping down onto the planet. This is how literally cooking stuff,
right?
Cooking it and burying it. And then that material has now today become our gold, oil deposits. You dig what I'm talking about? A lot of people don't know that stuff is made from living material. Well, how is it so much everywhere? Because it gets covered up. And the living material is then turned into the, in a sense, blood of the planet, oil. Right?
Right.
When you cover up material, burn it, heat it, and pressurize it, turns into coal.
Mm.
You put that coal under pressure, turn into a diamond. Right? It's a thing inside of a thing in a sense.
Okay.
Right? So,
Well, you feeding me good right now, man.
huh?
I see you feeding me good right now.
Yeah, no, but the Oahspe is breaking all this down.
Right,
And
right.
pressurized
See, I
our
ain't even got into
atmosphere.
it like that yet, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my bad, brother, but you know, like we have a lot of the Essene, the Nazarenes, you know, the Gospels, you know what I'm saying? And it's just lining right up with the Oahspe. It's just confirming everything, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And listen,
And
you
it's
know
like
Valley.
I
You know
cut the
Valley,
meat.
right?
I cut the meat and dairy out 3.5 years ago, reading out of the Gospel of the Nazarenes, actually just getting everything out of the Bible. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then it just add more to it from the
It's like,
Oahspe. You know what I'm
listen,
saying? You know what I mean?
even my
I
brother tell you. And
yeah,
I read it too. You know what I
right,
mean? I read the Nazarenes, Acts of the Apostles, homilies, all that
yeah,
stuff. You did what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah,
And then Mally didn't put me on stuff that I didn't even know nothing about.
right,
You did what I'm talking about. But so when they was getting into the Nazarene literature, Irie got into it.
mm,
You dig what I'm talking about when they be
mm,
bringing it out? I'm saying, bro, the only difference really I've seen in the way of the text is the Lord and the God talk. You can tell it's got affected. It got affected because it has the Lord God not
right,
right in it. You dig what I'm talking about?
right, right, right.
It's still saying the Creator is God and all that, but we can understand that.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially
yeah.
when the next revelation is who the hell God is.
Mm,
So that just come in Oahspe, but it
right.
don't mean it's really the next logical step. I thought God was the creator. Well,
Nah, man. And I've always had a kind of a problem with the word God. Reading the
yeah,
Bible, I always use the word power instead. And then coming to find out later on, it was never a translation or a transliteration. They simply took Elohim or Elohim out, placed it with God. You know what I'm saying? The plural with the singular and everything. It's like, and it's crazy because like that's why I love the Book of Discipline, chapter 1, bro. I
yeah,
love it, man, because it just gives that full effect of who. Because I mean, we reading Saint John chapter 10. You know what I'm saying? They trying to stone him. He said, "Man, well, for what good works you trying to stone me for? They ain't talking about it ain't for good works because of blasphemy. You being a liar, you being a man, making thyself God. Well, said
right.
it's not written in your law that I've said ye are gods. No,
Ye
this
are
said in
gods.
your law." In your law, not our law, but your law. I've said ye are gods. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I
And
always,
see,
and I
this is
always,
why it's
and
some
this is what,
stuff.
and bro, I'm my bad. I don't mean to
no,
cut you off at it all. Either
no,
I'm
you
just
good,
a
you
little
good.
excited right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always teaching people this. I'm always, this is kind of like the first thing I get at when I come into Oahspe to teach people. It's like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? This is what Christ is telling them. It's not written in your law. I've said ye are gods. For God standing in the congregation of the mighty, he judges among the gods. You know what I'm saying? For they
Right.
know not, neither will they understand. For they walk on in darkness, for all the foundations of the earth are out of course. For I said, ye
Listen,
are God.
Say it again. He just dropped a gem.
Right.
He literally told you that he deceived you. It's a deceivement, but they're going to twist it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're going to twist it because really many of the works that was done by the great prophets were done.
Yeah.
But the thing is that over time they reworked it and re-rocked it and repackaged it. You dig what I'm talking about? And then
Right.
gave it back to you as religion.
Yeah, that's what they do. They
You dig what
repackage
I'm talking
that
about? Some
deal up,
cold
man.
work out here, bro. But to understand that even the evil nigga was inspired by an evil God.
Yeah, man.
But to
They all
understand that
was
the
John and Noah.
God and the Satan is the same nigga is
Same thing. Satan is just self. That
oh
God was
my
about
god.
self. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
It ain't
god.
nothing more than
Oh.
that. For I said, you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. How we dying like men and fall like princes today? We
Wait
die
a
from
minute.
heart
Jesus
attack,
told
stroke,
you though.
diabetes,
Jesus
colon
told you.
cancer. We die from all the sickness and disease. That's why
Yeshua
I thought we
told you
dying
though.
like men.
Yeshua
Yeah.
said it though. He said it. We wasn't listening.
No,
We
we
wasn't
weren't
listening.
listening.
He said, the things I do, you can do and even greater. Niggas should have been like, wait a minute, right there. Wait a minute, partner. What you say, cuz?
Yeah, man.
Wait a minute. Ain't you the son of oh?
Yeah, man. But, you know, I'm just kind of bringing it up, man. This is where I always go, and I take people to the definition of God in Genesis 1. How it's Elohim, and now it's rulers, judges, divine one, angels, and angels not more than a messenger, and then the God and the goddess, which the God is a deity, which is a man or a woman, God or goddess. You know what I'm saying? And then I take them right to Oahspe, First Discipline, Book of Discipline, Chapter 1. God reveals who he is, man. I saw, bro, it all just lines up.
And then remember Stephen said, we got this from the angels.
Yeah.
On the mountain with Moses. You dig what I'm talking about? We got this from angels. But we know, me and you know,
angels, right?
but nobody but God up there.
Angels that came down. Yeah. And it was angels in the mount. Man, and that, you know what I'm saying? Just like, okay, it was last Wednesday, man. I was sitting up in the same hotel in San Jose, and I'm sitting here while I'm listening to your live. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here reading the history of Moses. The whole history. And then going to the book of Escalation, chapter 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, yeah.
Moses was a cold piece of work, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Moses was a cold piece of work, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And go check them stories out on I did some stuff on who Moses was in Egypt, all that stuff. I did a couple of breakdowns. Moses, my nigga. I like Moses, man.
Yeah, man, I like
I
Moses
can't wait
too,
to meet
man.
him one day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel his pain. He didn't want to go and tell, but Craig's like, yo, man, you gotta go tell Pharaoh, man, that my people.
Yeah, you gotta go get him.
Go tell him.
You gotta get him.
Don't worry about all the hard work, or what he's making, or the worst work he's making our people do. This is part of the plan.
Hey, look, this is when I really knew I liked it, Moses. When they went up there to the heavens, right, to go get him out the colleges, right? Yeah. Soon as I could imagine him like being in school. You dig what I'm talking about? And it's like, and you know you bad. You dig what I'm talking about? And you get that knock on the door. You know, they wave the teacher out. You see the police out in the hallway. Right. And you know right then. You dig what I'm talking about? And that's when it came to Moses like it was like he was like, man, yeah, I knew it. But this is when I liked him. You get all the way back to earth. It's big, you know, everybody want to see Moses. You dig what I'm talking about? Everybody want to see the big homie. You dig what I'm saying? They want to party and break it down. You know, big Moses in the house. He was like, man, look, Moses, man, they turned up. Everybody want to see you because we want to throw a party right now. Moses said, no, I got some work to do. He said, no, until I get this right, I ain't gonna rest. I said, I like you, Moses. I like you, cuz he knew he was wrong. He knew he was wrong. You dig what I'm talking about? Because Jehovah tell you to kill no goddamn goat. Spread no damn goat. You did that.
Kill anything created alive.
And then we always forget Moses was already adept in the wisdom of the Egyptians, so he would already knew how to put a curse.
Yeah.
He would already knew how to do that by the blood. You did what I'm talking about. He sealed that guy in on him.
And it's like, you know, when I read back in the what was that book of Arbon, chapter 20, right? When it going into to Pharaoh having the scribes who write the part lights out, right? I kind of look at that as like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Pharaoh put a curse right back on the Israelites.
Yeah, he was on their head.
I mean, no. If you really think about it, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, where we at today? You know what I'm saying? We still sacrificing, we still killing, eating, and that curse of us killing, eating lambs or animals or whatever, right? We still
Yeah, but
dying of
hold
the
on, we
sickness
can't.
and disease.
But hold on, we got to remember another deity later in time
Okay.
picks that up, picks that blood worship, that deity worship through that praise and ceremony and rite, and picks up that application and starts applying it through the Christian religion, through the Hebrew Israelitism, through Judaism, because he is the big boss dog at the time. This Luamon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You dig what I'm talking about?
You know
So
what I'm saying?
even after something had got laid down, he picked it back up. He picked the
Yeah.
lie back up and ran around the block with it.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
we can't. So I'm a listen. I'm gonna tell him like Jehovah just told him. He said, in all instances, I'm blaming the government. I'm blaming the government. Nigga,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have did it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
You shouldn't have did it. You know, but nah, man, I like this old man.
Man, I
It's
love
different.
it. Hey, man. So look, man, I finally got. I've been working with the old just off the the standard edition of Google. You know what I mean? I got it saved to
Yeah,
all my phones. Got it saved to my laptop. I just
yeah,
been working off the internet. You know what I'm saying? But I finally
yeah.
got my first book coming on tomorrow.
Which one you got? Big Blue, or did you get the
The
seventh
big, the
era?
big blue, man. The big blue one, man. It was forty
Big
dollars,
Blue.
man.
Yeah. All right.
Forty
Shout
dollars.
out Big Blue. I don't got Big Blue.
Yeah.
No, I got the seventh era Faithist edition. You dig what I'm
You
talking
got the
about? With the
green
one
one.
with the primary colors like this on the screen.
Okay.
It's like that on the cover. You dig what
Okay.
I'm saying? Because it got everything in it.
Oh, what you mean everything?
Because for instance, Big Blue only got like 900 some pages in it.
Oh, for
Mine
real?
got 1,553.
Damn.
Yeah, Oahspe a monster when you
Yeah.
see all of it.
Well, I mean, you got all of it on the one on the internet, the standard edition.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You got
yeah,
everything right there.
yeah. And then it's and then like if you get I got it's really the 1881 with the re-editions of the 1891 in there,
Mm-hmm.
and the new stuff that came in the Ray Palmer edition in 72. So that's my book is like that. So it's like it's the big one. You
Okay.
did what I'm talking about. It's got everything in it. Like some of them Big Blue don't missing books.
Okay.
You will see it. You will see
Okay.
once you look in there.
I mean,
Big Blue is missing whole books.
yeah, because usually when I go mess with Karan, man, he got the blue one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was just working off my phone. You know what I'm saying?
No, Big Blue is good. Big Blue
Yeah.
is good, and it's serviceable. You dig what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's serviceable, but it's I just wanted it all. I don't want nobody
feel you,
telling
bro.
me
I
what
be wanting it all too, man. That's fine.
yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know
I
what
be
I'm talking about. Don't give me no mixed jive.
yeah,
Don't give me no step dope. I work off straight from El Chapo. You dig what I'm talking about? Give me I want some straight drop.
right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Be all right though, man. It's coming, man. Our people, we gonna be good, man. A
Yo,
lot
man, but this was a great lesson, bro. A great lesson, because I like when I was just reading governments, I used to go into, you know what I'm saying, to the book of judgment, man. So you came out, I'm gonna have to rewatch because most of the time I be driving. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I got to check in my hotel room. And I just sitting up in here, you know what I'm saying, get ready, you know what I'm saying, getting everything. I'm in a nice little suite right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. Bouncing and grooving. You dig what I'm
Yeah, I mean,
saying?
he just out here
Long
moving and
as you,
grooving. But that's how
long
it
as you
always is
still
with me, man. I'm
spinning.
always out moving and grooving, man. Listening to
Right.
all, watching everybody's, you know what I'm saying, little lives, you know what I'm saying, and while I'm on the road. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. That's a great way to pick up a lot of great knowledge, man. There's a lot of good people out here
Yeah,
dropping
man.
some heat. You dig what I'm talking about? Dropping
Yeah.
heat. You dig what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Wait a minute. Wait till y'all see this stuff Daryl Cosmo got.
Man. Hey, man, I love y'all brothers, man. Y'all credit gang brothers, man. Yeah, I'm
Man,
from like this credit gang California. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm
yeah.
talking like you
We got
doing
creative
everything,
great.
man.
We got we got the Cali Connect. My big my bro Dreffel
Yeah,
and
but
with you
I mean, this
E
Northern
Mouse from out
California,
there. It's a
man.
bunch of
You know
listen.
what I'm saying? Like we used to say, Northern California Crip Car. You know what I'm saying? It's Northern California
Hey,
credit gang. You
hey, gang, and then
know what I mean?
you know what? Wow, you know what? That might be a good thing. We might need to look into. You dig what I'm talking to? Because when we on the West Coast, you know, we can all bump heads at a place where we can all be. Like, you know, we got a city out there.
Where?
It's, it's called Inyakern.
In your current, where that at?
I want to say like North Central Cali.
North Central Cali. When we
Yeah,
talk about
like,
Fresno, you talk about Fresno
like,
because that's Central Cali right there, Fresno, man.
yeah, it'll be up in that. It's called Inyakern.
Hmm.
Inyokern. It's a whole town of faiths. And we got there's a bunch of them in Ohio. Shout out to the UFK. Shout out to the RFK. Shout out to the Essenes of Cosmo. You dig what I'm talking? Shout out to the Seventh Era Faithists. You dig what I'm talking about? Especially y'all, man. I got to listen, man. I got to. You know what? Let me see if I can get. Hold on, because a lot of people be hating, and I didn't know that they was hating on them like that. You dig what I'm talking about? But I want to. Let me see if I can find something. No, I can't find them. Well, I wanted to give them a round of applause. Shout out to the Seventh Era Faiths. You got haters. You dig what I'm talking about? Like your boy Robert Bear and them. You dig what I'm talking about? Who throw salt on your name, dirt on your name, and all that stuff. But bro, he ain't do the work y'all did. He ain't do that work. Now, shout out to Robert Bear too, because it ain't nothing personal, Robert Bear.
Hey,
You
man,
dig
I,
what I'm
I don't
talking
even
about?
know who
But
Robert Bear is, Zach.
man, nobody. So my bad for even saying cuz name, man. But
I don't know
look,
who these
you
people
be
are, bro.
listen. He ain't nobody. You dig what I'm talking about? He had 50 years to make that name known. You had 50 years in Oahspe, nigga. What? Huh? So, no. You dig what I'm saying? I get it. You know, salute. You dig what I'm talking about for the work you've done and all that. And, you know, the research you do. You dig what I'm talking about? But when you start stretching it, when you start hating and slandering on your own, listen, figure this out. You know the whole, they be saying JBN is a Mason.
Yeah, they say a lot of stuff, but okay.
You know why they say that?
Why?
This whole ass nigga. He the one put that information out there. And because he a faithist, you did what I'm talking about. He did, you know, produced a few books or whatever on the internet or whatever you doing, cuz. Because that narrative has stuck. That narrative is stuck. And then, listen, man. So, anyway, he's always been hating. You dig what I'm talking about, but they never came with the proof. So, you know what I mean? Right there, you dig what I'm talking about. I look at merit, what your word is. You dig what I'm talking about?
Me personally, like I was hearing he was a Freemason, um, but none of that really bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Whether he was or wasn't,
Was or wasn't?
right? Because I'm just reading what I'm reading, and there's no way in hell this man wrote it.
No, ain't
You know
no
what I
man
mean?
wrote.
There's no way. There's no with all this information in here that confirms everything, that gives more detailed information, the things
Mm-mm.
that you already knew. Like you know what I'm saying? Like like yeah, we know where the New Testament comes from. So I mean, it doesn't help. It doesn't make me want to get rid of my Bible at all. It makes me love my
No.
Bible more. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because it
To
helps me
understand it.
understand more things. You know what I'm saying? Like we get into the gospel of the Nazarenes, helps me pretty much know exactly where the New Testament comes from. Right?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, dealing with the Council of Nicaea, but going to the books of Esdras, you know what I'm saying? We
Woo wee.
get more about the Council of Nicaea right now. We're getting everything. And we're finding out where everything is coming from. Everything is
Hmm.
coming from an angel, from a God, from the other
Yeah.
side. You know what I'm saying? Everything comes from the other side. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? So it's like, man,
The
there's
crazy
no.
part is Oahspe explained that how the unseen rules the scene.
Yeah, yeah. And it's been that way since the beginning, man. Been that
He
way.
said
So it's like,
I gave S power over corpor
right.
and to live inside corpor. Ooh wee. I said this nigga cold.
Hey,
I said,
yeah, man, they up
yo.
beside us, man. They up beside, man. You
Yeah,
know,
man.
I've been saying this for years, man, bro. It ain't nothing out there that's not what's inside here.
Listen, man.
Man,
I just got a little breakdown, and I don't know if you want to call it a little revelation, a little spark or whatever, on that whole idea of man being a thing inside of a thing, right? Inside of a thing. You dig what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
um,
the great spirit, the spirit is within inside the thing, the corporal body. You know
and
what I mean?
then I'm looking at the name Great Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Great Spirit in America is called Gichi Manito. Well,
Yeah.
what is Manito? Manito is a thing inside of a thing. Inqua.
Yeah.
So right there, let you know that there was a whole system to let you know that Gichi and Gichi Manito, or the creator, the father, and the son were not the same thing. And that they knew through the idea of Manito that man becomes God. They already knew it. This is why they never praised one. And the
Right.
only time they did, or it happened twice, thousands of years apart, but the two times that they did, or they came in contact with these foreign gods, they were damn near obliterated. So they had never rocked with the gods in that sense. You dig what I'm talking about? They always
Yeah.
rocked with the Great Spirit.
Right.
Which other countries, and they didn't get it, right?
Right.
They never got it.
Mm. Mm.
So, you know, so that understanding that the ancient American already had the understanding of the difference between God and the Creator in the understanding of Manito or the Great Inqua. You did what I'm talking about. And then the sign of it is one of the most readily known signs in pictograph. It's a circle, right? With a dot in the middle. Everybody done seen that everywhere. Not just in America. Right? We see, but it means inqua or in Algonquin. You dig what I'm talking about? A thing and a thing, a manito.
Yeah, man.
Man, so it be revealing stuff to me, bro. My wig been peeled back all week.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like it's a story of we talk about Ego Quim, you know what I'm saying, and to give us a commandment.
Yeah.
Ego Quim, you know what I'm saying. I was out in Bakersfield at my bro's house, man. You know what I'm saying? Reading that whole thing to him. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, his wife's always, she a Christian, Jesus, this. Oh, thank you, Jesus. And he like, nah, man, he represents his woman as the earth, you know what I'm saying? And things like
Yeah.
that. I said, look, bro, this is why you don't believe in all this shit. Look, I'm reading that whole thing down to him over there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
showed her how, like, you know what I'm saying, Jesus was like one of the demon gods, you know what I'm saying? Oh man.
But Yeshua real.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeshua real.
Yeah,
But this
Yeshua real.
Jesus character
That's the crazy part.
was created off the Gospel of Nazarenes, off the real Yeshua, and off Apollyon Tyanus, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And basically made up character.
Yeah, they done whipped him, whopped him up. You
Yeah.
did what I'm talking about, and created the Jesus character.
Yeah. Jesus. You know what I'm saying? To the Jesus. Jesus. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yeah, man. So
Jesus. Yep.
yeah, man.
Yep. And then
Oh,
they
man.
told on themselves in the King James Bible.
Yeah.
Oahspe
You know?
came and exposed it all. It still
But
says
you know the thing about it is, like, right, man, Jesus is like, that's like Romanian. That's how you say in the Roman and that's how they say Jesus in Latin language, Jesus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's just the Y, you know what I'm saying? Or the I is with the sound of the Y, Jesus.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yup.
obviously it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, shout out to you, to the Credit Gang brothers and all the family in the chat line. You know
That's
what I'm saying? Shout out to my Israelite brothers. You know what I'm saying? Scattered abroad,
Yeah.
whatever, man.
They coming
However you
home.
feel.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. They all coming in. You see, the thing is about this
I mean,
light.
sooner or later, man.
The thing is about this light,
I
man.
just like to
Listen.
congregate with my brothers, man, and you know what I'm saying, and I don't like to be with a contentious heart, be arguing back and forth with brothers. I'd
Nope.
rather just show up
I
and
just rather
show
show
my
it to you
love.
because it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you can't show me nothing evil.
Nah, man, ain't nothing
Show me
evil,
something.
bro.
Show me something that watch me trying to kill something, take something, do something. You dig what I'm talking about? No, it ain't trying to. It's not trying to do that.
Just giving us the real information. That's about it, bro.
Yeah,
real
man.
information. The confirmation. You know what I'm saying?
Confirmation that can be, but the dope part is Oahspe's information can be used.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm so big on. I'm big on. I like the historical part, but I'm big on science, man. I think I'm really about to go back to school to try to be an engineer, man, because man, somebody gonna have to build it. Somebody gonna have to build it, and if I ain't putting my hands on it how I want it, it ain't gonna be right.
Right.
And then I think it's much, much, much simpler than they trying to say it is.
Right.
So
hey man, but yo, man, shout out to Eli Shalom. Shout out
yeah,
to
shout out my dogs.
Cal, Daryl Cosmo,
Eli Shilly.
Malachi Maccabee, you know what I'm saying? shout out to you brothers, man. I don't care what nobody say about y'all, man. I love y'all brothers, man.
Hey, check it out.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
Yeah, you dig what I'm talking about?
Yeah, right, man. Yeah, man, coming from the north side of Sacramento, California.
North side snack.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to pop
Gardens,
up, man.
from the gardens.
Nah, I ain't from no gardens, man. From the north side of Sac. You know what I'm saying?
You don't be
North
rolling
side to
with
be
the
exact.
GBC. Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, man, ain't with none of that gangbang stuff, man.
No,
I'm
man.
about waking up my people.
Man, we gonna
living in
gang
peace,
bang on
love,
this
and
creator
harmony. You know what I'm
stuff.
saying? Yeah.
Do some good positive, turn it around, because really all my, especially my West Coast homies, all of them is just warriors without a cause. They gonna be our police in the end of the day. This
All
is
my
what they
brothers
don't
and warriors,
understand.
man. All my
This
brothers
is,
is warriors, you know what I'm saying? I
and
don't
that's
care if
what
you
it
Crip,
is.
Blood, Norte, Sureño, you know what I'm saying? I got brothers in all
They
those
just got to
tribes,
have a
man.
job. They don't have a purpose. And then
Right.
I always say, ain't no difference between too much difference between cops and Crips. It's just about your modus operandi. How are you
Yeah.
operating?
Yeah. But
You
like I
get what
said
I'm
to you
talking about?
before, man, a lot.
Who could stop us from saying these are now our police?
Right, right.
You
But like I
dig
was
what I'm
saying to
saying?
you before, my
So
brother, man, like a lot of my closest brothers come from First Foe and the Nine Gordon Block, some of my Valley High brothers, and you know what I'm saying? And yeah,
yeah,
they're my closest brothers, man, and they some good brothers, man. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
indeed. Shout out to the Gardens, man. Shout out to the Valley, all that, man. You dig what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the Sac, man.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
to the whole
Detroit,
West
man.
Coast.
Shout out to St. Louis, man. Shout out to
Yeah,
man. I'm trying. I'm really trying to get out to move out there to Atlanta, man. I started my LLC out in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Shout out Atlanta. Shout out Atlanta. Buckhead, Bankhead,
I'm really trying to get
Riverside.
up out. I'm really
You dig
trying.
what I'm
If
talking about?
anything, I'm trying to get up
Shout
out
out
of Sac,
Stone Mountain.
go back home to Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But yo, man, hey, man, I love you.
Shout
I'm
out
gonna get ready
Detroit. Shout out my hometown. Yeah,
Yeah, I love y'all, you brother peoples in the chat, you know what I'm saying? Create a game. You know what I'm saying? You fake this out there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I'm another fake this out here. You know what I'm saying? And I come with love. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
yeah.
come with love of my people. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I see you, Milestone. I see you, Milestone. He said, yeah. He said, we are on. He said, we are on the way. So many of our people is waking up. He said, I'm putting down this understanding. We are the people of the world. That's
Yeah,
right,
man,
man.
and
Listen,
that's another thing too, bro. Like I feed a lot of this to a little bit of everybody, and it be making sense to everybody, bro.
man, this is the
Makes sense.
ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of
That's it.
spirituality.
That's it.
The thing is, bro, if after this, after you get a little bit of old Oahspe, you dig what I'm talking about, and it don't make no sense to you, it's just not supposed to make sense to you. Because it's so easily understood. You dig what I'm saying? It's written in modern English. It don't gotta be translated. It just is. You dig what I'm saying? And so I didn't believe Oahspe. I didn't.
You didn't what?
I didn't believe it. Still don't.
You don't believe?
I don't believe shit. I know that there's a creator. You dig what I'm talking about? I know that. You dig what I'm talking about? But as in how you get to it, you dig what I'm talking about? How you understand it, how you interact with it. You dig what I'm saying? I end up kind of knowing some of that stuff already before I got a Oahspe, but a Oahspe. Now I don't put all my faith into it and all that, and you did what I'm talking about, but I let it prove itself to me. And
Yeah, man, because you know one plus one is two, and 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Things gotta add up, man, and everything add up. Dig what I'm talking about, and that's what it is. Everything add up, man.
That's right. When the math right, it's right.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, because my man, I gotta get up out of here, man. I gotta get
All
ready
right, bro.
to bed, man. But hey, man, can you do me a favor, Cosmo?
Yo.
Hey, breathe in.
Hey.
Let that light in.
That's right.
I'm out, man. And I'm out, yo.
That's right, Michael. Allah, man. Hey, you got to come through, man. Let's set up something, though.
All right, King, for sure.
Okay.
All right, man. Love you, all right.
Love you
Peace,
too,
shalom.
boy. One. Peace. My brother dropped through. You dig what I'm talking about? She had some of that light. Dig what I'm saying? Brother been into the Oahspe on the low. We ain't even know. Now that light starting to grow. That's for sure. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, but the you know, if the brother Karam is watching too, bro, you get dog number, man, and get my number from Micah Yala, and hit me up, bro. You dig what I'm talking about? Hit me up. Because you need to come on too. 'Cause I seen you up there holding your own, man. I was like, look at the OG. I said, yeah. He got all that great too, all that wisdom. I said, okay. He was up there and he only been in the OG, he said about 3 years. I said, woo. I said, it's gonna be him till captain. You dig what I'm talking about? So, hey man, this was Jehovah Chronicles number 231, Oahspe's viewpoint on the governments of man. You dig what I'm talking about? You make your own mind up. But it say what it say. Huh? I ain't never seen nothing say like that. Honestly, people be thinking the Oahspe like Bible. It's not. It ain't. You know what I mean? But what better way to get up out of here than with my dog, Mr. Fuck the government himself. My dog, Hurricane. You dig what I'm talking about with Be the Revolution. Yeah, we the revolution. And then be the revolution. You dig what I'm talking about? We're going to get up out of here with this one, y'all. This your boy Cosmonian, man. Hey, breathe in. Let that light in. Because I'm Cosmon. And I'm out.
Hurricane 313.
Fuck a president, fuck a dictator, fuck the prime minister, cause they all haters. Be the revolution, be the revolution. Fuck the president, fuck a dictator, fuck the prime minister, cause they all haters. Be the revolution, be the revolution. Agenda 2030, I don't think he heard me. Fuck the government, cause they tryna do us dirty. Waking up early, gotta grab the hammer. Have a fed hanging on the wall like a banner. Feel like Bruce Banner, turn it to the heart. Throw a dictator through a motherfucking car. Tell the prime minister, should've been the listener. True hunter, kill his ass like a killer would. Hit him up, got a bunch of bullets that'll fill him up. Tell the coroner, come and motherfucker pick him up. Spin a truck, we gon' ride out for another hit. Who to get? We can kill a motherfucking globalist. Solar fist, knock your head off the outer space. Got a case, you would disappear, yes, without a trace. United States is a corporation that is out of place. Burn it all down, let's do it fucking right away. Fuck the president, fuck the dictator, fuck the prime ministers, cause they all haters. Be the revolution, be the revolution. Fuck the president, fuck the dictator, fuck the prime ministers, cause they all haters. Be the revolution, be the revolution. Smart cities coming, gonna be a trap. Fuck the electric cars, but the bitches getting hacked. Gotta grab the strap, I ain't getting chipped. Busting at the feds as I motherfucking dip. Hop up in the whip, getting got to slip. To my hideout, gotta plan another trip. Flew off of Michigan, head up to Switzerland. Killing world leaders cause they take from the innocent. Dissident, fuck the government, knock them down fast. California fire, that's a motherfucking land grab. Panama Canal, that's another fucking land grab. Chrome lab, baby red, damn I think I'm gone mad. Don't laugh, see the light flash from the chrome blast. 44 mag, take your motherfucking dome fast. United States, it's the shit we gotta burn fast. Revolutionary, take your motherfucking world back. Fuck the president, fuck the dictator, fuck the prime ministers, cause they all haters. We the revolution, be the revolution. Fuck the president, fuck the dictator, fuck the prime ministers, cause they all haters. We the revolution, be the revolution. Fuck the president, fuck the dictator, fuck the prime ministers, cause they all haters. We the revolution, be the revolution. Fuck the president, fuck the dictator, fuck the prime ministers, cause they all haters. We the revolution, be the revolution.
Hurricane 313.
Creator gang is undefeated. Creator gang is undefeated. Know that. Know that. They not like us. Separate the real from the fake is a must. We stand on Creator and no God we trust. Team Kemet got crushed into powder and dust. Woo! Kemet looking bad now. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many men down? Look at us all running, ducking, trying to skip town. Now power one it in. You Hebrew, what you Kemet now? Siding with the people that enslaved your own people now? Chop you up into pieces and throw you in the river now. Reggie right beside you, get ate by Kemet, crack it down. Look, we got them running, covering square miles. Scared to death, what's left only to take the crown. Get smashed down on your own stomping ground. We took over like the Hicksons on your turf doing a disco. 2-stepping, no half-stepping with the info. You wouldn't even know the book of the dead, bro, if it wasn't for the translation done by my sparrow. Your time's narrow, semi-missiles blow out your arch arrows. Arches down, so goes the pharaoh. I saw him reading the glyphs like he an expert. But where he learned that from? This about to hurt. First translation came from Samuel Birch. European Egyptology gave you it first. You couldn't translate a bird to a word without looking at them European definition verbs. Y'all niggas acting like y'all blackity black. Frontin' to the people, man, y'all niggas actually whack. Your pathetic comedic creation myth is a trap. The blind leading the blind with no actual facts. Shabario Saze, you softer than Sade. Come to find out he followed Yahweh. That was your execution. You par Rosicrucian. Western thought you using. You are quite confusing. Don't know what you doing. How my eye got you moving. Right now you are losing. At your wake I'm viewing. R.I.P. communion. Mummy wrapped in ruin. Oahspe is ruling. Science has been proven. All motion moving. You live in an illusion. Who you think you fooling? Think you need some schooling. It's like Reggie out here living in a ghost town. Walking around like I see dead people around. I don't believe in spirits, but I believe them now. Stuttering Stanley, you can have a seat now.
Stuttering Stanley!
Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods.
Hey.
Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods.
Hey.
69 gods.
Hey.
69 gods.
Hey.
Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods.
Okay.
Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods.
Yeah.
Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. 69 gods. 69 gods. Creator gang is undefeated. Creator gang is undefeated. And it's gonna remain that way. And it's gonna remain that way.